And just like that, we're in Tibet. And we are in Lhasa after 2 very grueling train rides, about 2.5 days to get here from Beijing. We're exhausted. We were being affected by the altitude. Neither of us have been sleeping for the last 3 days at all. But this is Potala Palace, and we're going to be walking up here. But what no one shows you is the crowds to just line up to get the ticket. It's absolutely huge. We weren't actually supposed to be doing this today. We were supposed to be doing a couple of monasteries, but because it's Chinese New Year tomorrow, the palace will be closed.
So we basically have 2 days of people with tickets today. So everyone who was supposed to be tomorrow, which was us, is now today with everyone who was already scheduled for today. So it's double the participants or visitors.
Well, at least we get to see it, because if it was tomorrow, we wouldn't be able to see it at all.
No, we are not going.
It's the main thing we wanted to see here in Lhasa. And now we're in another line. This is, of course, the palace where the Dalai Lama used to live. If you've seen the movie 7 Years in Tibet, definitely see the movie. And I always thought it was filmed here. It was not at all. They did an amazing job of making it look exactly like this. But it was actually filmed mostly in Chile and Argentina. But the government wouldn't allow them to film here. For obvious reasons, it was a very negative film towards China. And this is the line. Oh no. At least the line is moving. It's a bit loud. Of course, the Dalai Lama cannot return here. He's in permanent exile. Dalai Lama is not even allowed to go into Nepal, by the way, because it's too close. It doesn't want to cause any problems for the Chinese people.
I didn't know that.
Yeah?
I didn't know you can go into Nepal.
No, they can't go into Nepal. This palace is huge, by the way, much bigger than it looks in videos. Not looking forward to the stairs. This is not what we were expecting. Well, lady.
Let's try and do a selfie.
Selfie. Selfie time.
So now we are inside the Potala Palace. Okay. So Potala Palace. When we talk about the Potala Palace, the first important thing, Potala, the meaning of Potala. Potala is not local language. It's a Sanskrit from Indian language. It means a resident, the home for the Avalokiteshvara. So who is Avalokiteshvara? The compassionate Bodhisattva. Okay, the compassionate Bodhisattva. So in Tibet, we regard Dalai Lama is the manifest from the Avalokiteshvara. So that's why Dalai Lama always talk about love and compassionate. Okay, so that's why we regard he is the manifest from the Avalokiteshvara. So that's where Dalai Lama stay inside the Potala Palace. So in 7th century, during the 33rd king of Tibet, so this king is called King Songtsen Gampo, very famous king in Tibet. Okay, so King Songtsen Gampo, first, the most important contribute on our history, he did the unification of Tibet. So before his father is ruling Tibet, Tibet was divided. So different small kings ruled Tibet. So the King Songtsen Gampo, he unified whole Tibet. He make Tibet one together. Okay. After the unification of Tibet, we get a close relation with the India, Nepal, and then to China, Tang Dynasty. If you compare the history, during that time China was ruled by the Tang Dynasty. Okay. So then during that time, there is a two princes. One is from Nepal. Princess Bikuti was married with our king, King Songtsen Gampo, and another princess from China, Princess Winton, was married with our king. So why our king he went to marry with these two princes? For one reason, for religious reason. From Nepal, we need to learn the, in all the Nepal and India are close to each other. So that's why we need to learn the philosophy, Buddhism, from India or Nepal. Okay, and from China, we need to learn the architect. So our king, his idea, he want to develop Tibet. from cultural every corner of the life. So he want to learn, so he want to develop Tibet. So that's why he think Tang Dynasty, we can learn something from the Tang Dynasty. So that's why he was married with the Chinese princess Winton. Okay, so in 7th century, after the unification of Tibet, King Songzai Kangbo, so the Lhasa is the new capital, the old capital from Lhasa, 280 kilometers from Lhasa in Hoka area. Okay, it's far from Lhasa. So that's why he moved from the old capital to here. When he reached in here, he found this mountain we call Maburi. Maburi means red hill, this hill. And then the structure of this hill look like an elephant is laying down, based on the Buddhism philosophy. So the elephant is more like something will bring good honor. So that's why he want to build the palace on the Potala, on this red hill. Okay, so the we can see from the Potala, from the architect, it's more like a fort. So there is a lot of like nowadays in social media or like books they say, oh, Potala is built for the Chinese princess or Nepali princess. This is not true. Okay, so Potala is built to protect the royal family for security purpose. It's more like a fort. So it was built, you can see the small windows up there. Even in Europe, you have a similar like a kind of design up there. Because this is for the archers. In case of war, you can shoot from up to down. You cannot shoot from low to up. Okay, it's more similar design. And then Potala was, you can see, it was protected by the walls, where the guard can stand on the walls. So from the design, we can see it was built for the security purpose, or for security of the royal family, to show the honor, to show the power of the royal family. Okay, and then that is the old Potala. Okay, so the Potala nowadays we see it was built, rebuilt during the 5th Dalai Lama in 1611. Okay, beginning of 17th century, during the last king of Tibet, we call King Lantama. So this king, he started to reform. What reform? He demolished the old monastery which was built in 7th century. He changed the law. He asked the monks and nuns to be married to increase the population. Okay, and then he forced the monks to go to hunt. You know the monks cannot hunt, right? They will be out of the Buddhism principles. So due to this, and the last king of Tibet, he was assassinated. He was killed by a monk called Halunpei Doji. After the monk was assassinated, and then he have 2 sons. So these 2 sons, to get the power in the Potala, they fight each other, because there is no stability in the country. And then Tibet was from 1 divided into 2, from 2 divided into 3. Again, in the history says more than 200 small rulers in Tibet. So Tibet become like a Tibet empire, which was built from 7th century, was totally collapsed. Okay, so when it was collapsed, the old Potala, which was built in 7th century, it was destroyed. So nowadays only around 20%, maybe 25% was left. So everything was rebuilt during the great 5th Dalai Lama in 1650, in 16 area. Okay, the beginning of 7th century, the religious and then the political rule together by Dalai Lama. So this system was started by the 5th Dalai Lama. So 5th Dalai Lama, among the 14 Dalai Lama, from 1st Dalai Lama to 5th Dalai Lama, we call Ngapachimbo in our language. Ngapachimbo means the great 5th. Because why he is great? Because he did more contribution to Tibetan history. Also, there is one time the Ladakh from India, the Sikh Empire in India sponsored the Ladakhis to fight with Tibet, and we lost huge land for Ladakhis. But the 5th Dalai Lama, he took it back. Okay, and the 5th Dalai Lama, he doesn't have a military power to support him, so the Mongolia support him. So you know Dalai Lama, Dalai, this word is Mongolian word, it's not Tibetan. It's an honored name given by the Mongolian empress. It means a man with full of knowledge, like ocean, like a sea. Okay, Dalai means ocean in Mongolian language, and Lama is Tibetan language. It means monk, not monk. It means master or teacher, like guru. Okay, so and then you can see Potala was divided into 2 parts: above part and lower area. So lower area in all the we call Xue. Xue means lower town, and Zi means higher town. Okay, in all the based on the system, so the higher monk or high minister for work for the Dalai Lama higher, they can go up to work with the Dalai Lama up there. And then the lower ranking officer, they have to do office in this area. So this was built during the 13th Dalai Lama. This is the printing house. They print, what they print? The local money. So this stone pillar was built in 1534. Okay. So this stone pillar, after the Potala was renovated during the 5th Dalai Lama. So during that time, the 5th Dalai Lama already passed away. But before 5th Dalai Lama passed away, his minister, the regent of Tibet. So when there's no Dalai Lama, somebody take in charge. So this one in English we call regent. So this regent, he worked for the 5th Dalai Lama. Before Dalai Lama passed away, he asked Dalai Lama, so what should we do, for those people who did a great contribution to renovate the Potala. It means the laborers, the hard laborers who did a great contribution to build the Potala. Okay, the designers, the people who did the contribution. What we do for them? And then 5th Dalai Lama says, okay, we can build a stone pillar to core memory, to feel the gratitude of these people. Actually, they need to write the names or the designers, okay, everything on the stone pillar. But there's too many people and there's not enough space. So that's why 5th Dalai Lama says there's no words, to feel the gratitude of these people's contribution. So this stone pillar become empty. Okay. So normally in Tibet we have lots of stone pillars like this. They have a historical background. They are recorded with the Tibetan characters on it. But this one is empty. So that's why we call it the non-words stone pillar.
Stairs.
Doing better than I thought, but you can definitely feel the altitude. Everyone's definitely going at a slow pace, which is nice to see. But we're getting there.
And we're not using oxygen like some of these guys.
Yeah.
So this is please come close, okay? This is quite important. So this is the last place you can take photo, okay? From there, when we get inside, when we are going inside, officially we are going to see inside. It means photo is not allowed, okay? From there, photo is not allowed. And then this area in ancient times, this is a very important places. This is more like a square. This is more like a platform or stage. During the festival or religious festival, social festival, Dalai Lama will be the highest point up there with the yellow curtain up there. So that is the place where the Dalai Lama used to live. And he will watch the opera show in here. There will be opera performance in here. So other officers will be stay around and Dalai Lama will watch the show in here.
Up here is where the Dalai Lama lived, and they don't allow filming in here, so we'll catch up on the other side. So, crowds aside, what do you think of the palace?
Well, it's very cool to see. I definitely recommend people coming here. But the crowds are insane and very pushy in areas that can be quite dangerous for some people.
Yeah, like there's many doorways that you could fit 1 or 2 people through normally. But 6 people have to force their way through at the same time. And it's all like that. And just like being cramped and being pushed. Actually, a monk hip checked me like a hockey player there to get me out of the way. But I've just never seen such a pushy group of people. I mean, it'd be so much better if it was quiet and peaceful and there weren't guides yelling over one another and people yelling. You'd think it would be a peaceful, if not silent place. But it's not. Now, this is unusual. It's not usually this busy. It's because of Chinese New Year. Check out the partial moat. On our way down.
Just before the COVID? Just before the COVID?
The inside of the palace, it's really more like a monastery than a palace, and it's very expansive. But unfortunately, the only way you're ever going to see it is to come here and see it for yourself.